Hi guys, hope you're having a great day. Welcome to another Daily Choices episode where we just go through some questions that we all have and we come across daily related to purpose, relationships, routines, confidence, absolutely anything. Let me know what you think, whether you've tried any of those before or whether they're new. Yeah, let me know in the comments. Also, as you can see, slightly different location today. I am abroad, so I don't have my usual car, my usual settings. Let's just get straight into it. Ways to start the day with the flow. I've mentioned the importance of setting the tone for your day and how you handle yourself throughout the day after that. Something that's not always possible because it's our automatic reaction is not looking at our phone first thing in the morning. It doesn't mean not to look at my phone at all, just means for the first, for instance, half an hour of waking up, just not to have that immediate stimulation. And it's just healthy to take a break from that sometimes, be like, this is what I used to do as a kid or when phones weren't such a big factor of our lives. So finding ways to set tone for the day and to make yourself feel more grounded, whether that's making a tea or coffee and just sitting there for 10 minutes before all the steps of the day start and it all kind of overwhelms you. Or it might be journaling for 10 minutes and writing all that's already surfaced straight from the morning, or it might be looking outside towards nature or whatever you can see from your windows. Maybe it's just people walking by and just simply watching and preparing yourself for the day. And it might be worth trying different ways and then noting down how you felt after that at the end of the day. How to tell a friend that they might be in the wrong. This can definitely be tricky, but also necessary, because I do think good friends would make each other realize when the other person can be wrong. So I find quite a smooth and sensitive way of doing this is to acknowledge their perspective and emphasize that you understand where they're coming from, and then also give them some other options of how it could be perceived. And that way you're not telling them what's wrong or right, but you're pointing out the other options of that scenario. And that way they can consider it themselves without necessarily you telling them off. I'd say that's the way that's worked for me the best. But let me know in the comments if you have any other ways that you found have worked to letting your friend know sensitively that they might be wrong in a situation. Next question is finding direction towards the next steps of your purpose or your career or anything in that kind of world. This is more of an intuitive way that I've come across and it's really stuck with me and helped me, so I wanted to share it. To try all the doors and go through the ones that open. It sounds so simple, but I think it's such a good way of portraying it, because sometimes we might be just trying to go through this one door and it isn't working, and maybe that's not the only way to get there. So in this way, I find that it helps to think about it as if what works will lead you in that direction that you're meant to be going, and what doesn't need that much of your energy. And I think the reason I found this really useful is because of the courage that perspective can give you, because there's not just one way of developing yourself. I find it's the courage that comes with that, with trying the different ways of getting there. So the next one is making the most out of a shitty situation or mood. I find we all come across this one way or another, and it's not the most comfortable when it happens, because we might have a commitment to the situation, or it's something we paid for, whatever it is. We might not be able to leave or change the situation. So what I find helps is just putting it more into perspective and being realistic with yourself in that moment. Maybe asking yourself, okay, if I'm not able to have the best time ever in this instance, is there anything that could help me to make more out of it? Something to learn, something to try, to enjoy myself a bit more. Just kind of looking at the bigger picture of things that you value and associating it to that situation and being like, okay, well, I can't maybe enjoy it so much, so I'll use it to do this. Or maybe I can't learn anything new right now, so I'll just try to enjoy myself. And yeah, just reading the situation based off some options. Or what also tends to help is thinking about it from a future perspective, and what can I do to make more out of the situation, to look back at it and think that I did something that was useful for me as well. So in a way, kind of phrasing questions to yourself, I guess trying to see it from slightly different angles when possible. And finally, how to not compare our lives so much to social media. I think one way that's helpful for me right now is just seeing it as inspiration rather than something realistic or true, because so much of it is obviously created like art to stand out. So with understanding that, you can tell that it really can't be that realistic, and just seeing it for what it is really. Another way could be there's so much information out there, so it can be overwhelming. So for instance, by filtering out the people you're following to the ones that have a similar lifestyle, that might be easier to navigate, or a similar way to filter out some apps that you use. And again, don't overwhelm you so much with everyone doing so many different things and having to consider all that everyone is doing and all the different ways of doing it. Then it's better to organize it in a way that is more suitable for you and doesn't have to create so many different expectations for yourself. Thank you for coming along to another episode. I hope you enjoyed. As I said before, let me know any daily choices that you're coming across or questions that you're having, and we can just discuss them in the upcoming videos. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.